So as you guys know, Stripe just came out in MultiVersus with the new Halloween update. There's a lot of things that happened in the update. I talked about that in yesterday's video if you want to check that out. But today I want to dive deeper into Stripe and talk about, the intricacies of his kit, the best strategies that I've found, the best perks that you should be running, how I think his balance is, kind of the state of Stripe, stuff like that. As you can see right now, I am a top 500 in the world on Stripe. I'm actually lacking because Stripe's been out for about 48 hours. At this time when Rick had come out, I was already top 100. So I need to get on my grind. So that's what I'm doing tonight. Let's go hop into some games and talk about Stripe. First off, straight out of the gate, we got a really good map because this is actually one of Stripe's strongest maps due to the fact that you can make these little saw blades go around any of these platforms and you can make them circle that platform. Basically, all you have to do is throw the saw blade onto one of the platforms and it'll just sit there, go around it in a circle for a while until it runs out. It's super, super good for map control. You can basically lock off entire points of the map and just not allow them to use it at all. The saw blade is one of your best abilities. It's great because it recharges super quickly, so you can basically always have one to get them off of you, stop a push, keep map control, really anything you want to do with them. This is why you wouldn't be running the ice to beat you perk, something like that. Ice to meet you, maybe. It's the perk that applies one stack of slowdown whenever you hit him with a projectile. It's super, super important for Stripe because every time you hit him with a saw blade, they're going to be slowed down. In general, the ice perk is one of the best perks in the game for basically any character that has a projectile because you can just constantly slow them down. Anytime that they are slower than you in a match is an advantage for you because it means that you can play a lot more freely than them. So you want to be using the saws to keep your map control, and if they try to push you, you can just use the saw to slow them down. The next perk you want to be using is triple jump. Triple jump is one of the most essential perks in the game, period. I mean, there's never really a situation where triple jump is bad because every character has some pretty strong air game, but Stripe especially has extremely important air game. His air combos are like his bread and butter. The way that you want to be playing Stripe is extremely air oriented with lots of air combos happening, and the way that you want to be using the gun is individually one bullet at a time in between attacks to keep your combo alive. I see way too many people land one attack and then instantly use all three of their bullets on them. Your bullets do 2 damage a piece. It is not worth putting all 3 bullets into them for damage. They also don't do much knockback. It's not a KO move. You have to understand that straight out of the gate. If you're trying to KO them by spamming all 3 of your bullets into them, you've probably already lost the fight. You want to be using them one at a time to keep combos alive because that is where they're extremely valuable, like I just did. This is another very strong map for Stripe because of this center little platform here. Basically, any of the maps that have these platforms are going to be great for Stripe because you can keep control with them super easily with the saw blades like I talked about earlier. You can just shut down entire pushes and entire areas of the map. This is where Stripe truly excels. You want to be using the dynamite as a sort of initiation. Basically, what you want to do is start attacks with the dynamite, lead with it because they'll be shot backwards and you will be on fire. You'll take a little bit of damage, but it's not that much in the grand scheme of things. You have to worry about like killing yourself with it just based on damage. Little combo there. Oh, I might be able to get an early KO. If I hit bullet. Oh, I don't have any bullets. I'm out of ammo. Next up, the chainsaw. The chainsaw is basically his only recovery move. Stripe has very bad recovery. You have to understand that going into him. You kind of have to play around the fact that your recovery is bad. So you have to understand that like when you do moves and when you go for attacks, you can't really go for super aggressive like edge guards, for example, because if you end up getting hit off, you can't recover with this little chainsaw. It's a very bad recovery tool, but it's the only one in this kit. I can already smell the comments from people that are like, oh, but it hits them, so therefore it's a good recovery because they can't edge guard you. It's extremely easy to counter the chainsaw. Wow, that was a good kill. I forgot Harley actually has like really good air game for a second. I was just kind of playing an autopilot there. That should be a kill though. Use the saw to edge guard. Use it again. Oh no, I couldn't get her off. Use a saw blade for center of map control. Use it again. Maybe I can get something off here if I chainsaw. There it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. The last perk you want to be using is, I think it's called In a Single Bound. It's basically just gives you a 10% faster jump height. And like I mentioned earlier, a lot of Stripe's combos and like the majority of his game control comes from aerial combos. So you have one aspect of your game control, the saw blades with a perk, which is the slowdown perk. And you have another aspect of your game control, which is just aerial combos and keeping them in the air. You have that extended by triple jump and In a Single Bound, which both make it much easier to hit these air combos. Very good kill. I'm playing well tonight, man. I need to play like this more often. Go ahead and go for a saw blade initiation here. Very good. I have 2 bullets. I can afford to use one there. I like to wait till I have 3 bullets before I start like going for any actual extended combos, or at least until I have 2 bullets so that the third one can recharge mid combo. If you don't have any bullets, you're probably not going to pull off a crazy combo because you really just need the bullets. Without the bullets, you don't really have much to extend your combos and you only have basically light attacks. Oh, he's got his port. I forgot this character has a portal. What's crazy is it feels like it's been so long since I mained Rick, even though I was literally playing him like every day only a few days ago. But I really cannot imagine playing him now because I have Stripe. I've been begging for an assassin that's fun and good for so long, and I really think that they like nailed it on what an assassin should be with Stripe. As an assassin, I feel like he fits the role just so perfectly because he's light. Stripe is a fast character with a bunch of very weak attacks that chain together very well for long combos. He's not necessarily a high damage dealer, and he's definitely not like an early KO character. He's someone that you have to have precise combos that you keep alive for like 10 hits, 15 hits, stuff like that to really start getting a ton of value out of him. Oh, if only I had bullets there, which in my opinion is literally what a assassin should be. You shouldn't be able to kill people within like the first 10 seconds of the match when using an assassin character. That doesn't feel like an assassin. You should have to sit there and like whittle down at their health for a while before you can start KOing them. Stripe definitely isn't an easy character, and you have to have a pretty good knowledge of combos and your moveset and like how to juggle people specifically. This is like the strongest juggling character that we've seen, even over someone like Arya. I feel like Arya was another really strong juggling character, but a lot of her juggling combos did most of the juggle work for you, if that makes sense. Like her up slash would chain into itself for you. You didn't really have to work at it. Whereas with Stripe, all of his moves and his combos, you have to actually like input correctly in order to activate them. So he's definitely a character that has a decent bit of skill required. I know there's going to be a bunch of people saying Stripe's OP, Stripe takes no skill, Stripe needs to be gutted, like everything like that, because the character just came out, and that's bound to happen every time a character comes out. I have never seen a character come out within this community where the entire community is not calling them OP within like 10 minutes of them being out. Something that I've tried to say so often is that y'all need to give it time. You cannot tell... You can't say a character is OP when they've been out for one day. That just doesn't make sense to me. You don't even know their moveset yet. So give it some time, figure out how to play against him. I'm sure that there will be big community counters that become public information soon. For example, in the beginning of the game, everybody thought Superman was so OP, and now the majority of the community has kind of figured out how to play against him for the most part. Like, for example, stay in the middle of the stage. You can't really edge guard against a Superman because he'll just grab you and throw you off. He's going to be using his little, what are they called? Little laser eyes pretty frequently, so be ready for that. Play close to the ground so that you can always recover when he does use his laser eyes. Like, everybody as a community kind of collectively figured out how to play against Superman, even though he was a character that was pretty, in quotes, OP when the game first came out. That's kind of how I feel like every new character is going to be, where people think that they're OP until they figure out how to play around them. But I really think that they hit the nail on the head with this character. He doesn't feel overpowered at all. Rick felt better than Stripe, and I didn't really think Rick was like game-breakingly overpowered. I thought that Rick was definitely an S tier character, like for sure, high S tier. But I didn't think he was ever like game-shatteringly OP. I think that the nerfs they gave him were pretty good. They might have been a little overboard, but they needed to go aggressive on Rick because he was kind of a problem early on. I'm actually super impressed with the balancing of Stripe. I think that they are starting to get a better idea of characters. After having characters that seems like they kind of didn't have an idea of how to balance them straight off the rip, coming into a character like Stripe, who I think first impressions feels pretty good. I'm impressed. I think it bodes pretty well for the future of the game. Along with that, we do have ranked coming soon, and confirmed ranked system, confirmed like ranked titles, the icons for it, all that. I'll be talking about that in another video that's going up today as well. So I don't know which one I'll post first because I'm recording these the previous day. But if you want to check that out, go check it out on my channel. I'm so excited for ranked. It is exactly what this game needs, and honestly, it's a little bit overdue, not gonna lie, and by a little bit, I kind of mean a lot of it, but I'm excited that it's coming nonetheless. I think that they're better late than never, you know? Better late than never. Ooh, this might be a kill. If I can pull this off. Oh, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Gonna use the dynamite to initiate here because, oh. All right. Overall, I'm loving Stripe. I think he's a great addition to the game. I've been having a lot of fun on him, and I hope that you guys found some kind of value from this video, whether you learned something or just found it entertaining. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe because it helps out more than you think in the algorithm. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can leave a comment down below with your thoughts on the video. And yeah, check out this one right here if you want to watch. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.